Thank you very much, Reverend Erica Baka, for that wonderful prayer. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you are welcome to this product lunch. My name is Ikua Bartlett Mingle, and I'm your MC for this morning. We are excited to see you all here today, and we hope that you are as excited as we are about this groundbreaking innovation in our market. So I'd just like to notify you all that on the arms of your chairs, you will find that we have left brochures that have details of the product we are about to launch. So we would like you to pay attention to it and take it along with you, share it with friends and family because it has good news for everyone. So I just want to also mention a few house rules. We would crave your indulgence that you keep your phones on silent mode just so that this program can flow very smoothly. Thank you very much. We also just want to notify you that bathrooms are just right outside to my left, so if you have a need, you can quickly step outside. So once again, you are all warmly welcome. We are excited to see you, to be part of this momentous occasion. And at this time, I would like to acknowledge some special guests who are here today to grace the occasion. As a bank that is regulated by the Bank of Ghana, of course, we are excited that this program is taking place, and we have no other to be our guest of honor than the second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Adewawaji, in our midst. Thank you so much. On such a momentous occasion, it is very significant that we have the presence of the regulator in our midst. Thank you very much, Madam. We also have here Mr. Osei JC, who is the head of the banking. Oh, sorry. Okay, he's not here yet. All right. And of course, this is an Absa MasterCard Foundation collaboration. So we have here Mrs. Abna Osei Poku, the Managing Director of Absa Bank Ghana Limited here. Thank you very much, Abna. And of course, Madam Rosie Finn, the Country Director of the MasterCard Foundation. Thank you very much. We also have here the President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Eyim Dake. Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful partners present here today with us. Dr. Joseph Obeng, the President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, here. Thank you very much. We have here the Chief Operating Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Frederick Edu Adomako. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We also have here Madame Frances Nanajwa Eninfo, and she's the President of Wigs and Hair Extension Dealers of Ghana. Can we see you? Oh, let's give her a clap. I suspect that a lot of the women here are beneficiaries of her organization, myself included. Thank you very much for coming. I would also want to acknowledge the management and staff of the two organizations bringing this collaboration to bear, and that is the management and staff of the MasterCard Foundation and Absa Bank Ghana Limited. Would you please give them an applause? Recently, I came across a word that was coined by someone and said, possibilitarians. And I believe that the management and staff of the two organizations are definitely possibilitarians for bringing about this wonderful feat in our industry. So, of course, today wouldn't be complete if we didn't have a story to tell at the end of the day. So I'd like to acknowledge the media who are here. All media houses, we acknowledge you. Thank you very much for being part of this groundbreaking event. And we believe that you are going to take the story to the ends of the world so that everyone knows what's happening and how Absa is changing the level of SMEs. Thank you very much. So now that we've done these acknowledgements, I just want to remind you all that we are here for this product launch, and I'm sure already you're seeing signs of what it is about. But right now, I would like to invite Mrs. Abna Osei Poku to give us the opening remarks.
Cash no Alandiana. Alande. Cash no Alandiana. Alande. Everyday life. Cash no Alandiana.
Good morning. The second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Adewawaji.
the country director of the MasterCard Foundation, Madam Rosie Finn, the president of AGI, Dr. Ayim Dake, President Guta, Dr. Obeng, and I think I'll stand on the protocols. Ikuya has mentioned everybody else. But I'd like to just say, also acknowledge our cherished customers, the management and colleagues from MasterCard Foundation and Absa Bank, and indeed, all ladies and gentlemen here. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for showing up in your numbers to support us today. I think you can all tell I'm very excited. I was actually telling my colleagues when I walked in that I don't think all the 5 years I've been here, I have been this excited about a launch, I'm excited because this is an opportunity for us to demonstrate our shared commitment to empower, enable, and elevate small and medium enterprises across Ghana. Today is a day of celebration for all of us at Absa Bank Ghana, our partners at MasterCard Foundation, our cherished SME customers, and indeed our beloved country. I like what Reverend said. He said it's also for country, but it's also for people. Thank you, Reverend. That was very well said. Together, we are embarking on a journey to transform the landscape of Ghanaian businesses to foster innovation, create jobs, and drive economic growth. At Absa Bank, we believe in the power and the potential of SMEs. We know these businesses are the lifeblood of our economy, the engine of progress, and the heartbeat of our communities. And now we are taking it to the next level. I am so honored and privileged to be the bearer of good news, that through our partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, we are offering an incredible opportunity to SMEs across Ghana. Thank you. I think it's clap-worthy. So these businesses can borrow up to 1 million Ghana cedis without collateral at 10%. Only from Absa Bank Ghana. And they can also borrow up to 11 million Ghana cedis at 10% with collateral. As I woke up this morning, I was just thinking, this is truly a game changer in the banking industry and in our nation, especially at this time. It is an incredible opportunity for women-owned businesses, young entrepreneurs, agribusiness, and fintechs all across Ghana. It's not just for Accra, it's for everybody in the country, as long as you qualify. So at Absa, we are not just a bank. We are a partner in real sector growth. And I recall that when we launched our brand and name change, a few years ago, we actually said that. And this is proof that it's true. It's not mere words. So this also ties in very beautifully with our new brand purpose, which is empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. I think everybody can tell this initiative is a compelling story in a bunny world. Any financial institution that dares to lend 10% in Ghana is a beacon of hope, and we are so excited to be leading this charge. So to our cherished customers, you can count on us to support you unlock your full potential. For me personally, this is more than a loan. It's really about building a brighter future by spearheading real transformation with the support of the MasterCard Foundation. With this program, women entrepreneurs will have access to the financial resources they need to start and grow their businesses. We all know that by empowering women, we empower our entire society. And fintech startups will also scale up their businesses, contributing to the growth of our digital economy. Furthermore, our youth, the future leaders and indeed change makers, will be encouraged and enabled as young entrepreneurs to turn their innovative ideas into reality. because we are going to be providing them the necessary financial backing to build successful ventures, contribute to the growth of our agriculture. The backbone of the nation will also receive special attention. We aim to ultimately boost the entire agriculture value chain. Indeed, we are very grateful to Mastercard Foundation. I think literally, short of lying down and holding Rose's legs, I am that grateful. It's been a journey, as Audrey said. It's been, you see us launching this today, but it didn't happen overnight. It's been years of partnership, a lot of hard work, and thank you to everybody from Mastercard and Absa, including Audrey and Grace, who started this initiative. I truly appreciate you. So, I encourage all eligible individuals and businesses to apply for this program. Take advantage of this opportunity. Together, we can build a prosperous and sustainable future for SMEs in Ghana. Thank you all once again for joining us today. And you can't really see my t-shirt, but it says, for those who can see, Absa SME, SME loan at 10% per. What? No challenger. Cash alande. Anna.
Cash no alandi ana.
Alande, alande,
Cash no alandi ana.
alande. Everyday life.
Cash no alandi ana.
Alande, alande.
Cash na lande. Another round of applause for Abna. 10% na alande. And Abna had a lot to say. But definitely, the summary of it all is that Absa is here to make sure that in the SME space, we are taking the lead and that we are empowering our SMEs to be the engine of growth of this economy. And I believe that all of us here will come on that journey. And so make sure that you make noise out there. And thankfully, the media are here just to start the noise, and that all of you today will hear the stories of some who have been empowered through our SME offering. And I'm sure that there are many who will join this journey, and their lives will be impacted, and our economy will be better for it. Thank you very much, Abna. Next, of course, like we said, there's a collaboration, it's a partnership. So we have the country director of the Mastercard Foundation, Madam Rosie Finn, and she's going to share her remarks with us. When she is done, the next voice that we'll hear will be that of Dr. Humphrey Ayimdake, the president of the Association of Ghana Industries. Let's welcome her with a round of applause, please.
The second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Madam Elsie Ajoawazi, my dear friend Abena Osei Poku, Managing Director of Absa Bank, Dr. Humphrey Ayimdake, you are my new friend. We only just met last week and we're already making big plans. President of the AGI, management of Absa Bank, I see colleagues from the Mastercard Foundation here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on all protocols that have been observed already. Good morning. I am also very excited. My excitement level cannot match Abena Osei Opoku's, but I just want you all to know that today for us as well is a great day. And the reason why I am excited is because every time we're able to work on a partnership and be able to see it grow year on year and take things to the next level like we're doing today, we know that we're beginning to make changes in the lives of the young people of Ghana. And that's what the Mastercard Foundation is all about. For us, we know that SMEs play a major role in most economies and are particularly pivotal in Africa's rising economic growth. And research that I was reading according to the World Bank said that they represent about 90% of businesses and more than 50% of employment worldwide. The truth is, the story is no different in Ghana, where there's an estimated over 90% of business enterprises in the country who are SMEs. Moreover, they not only form around 80% of the total employment in Ghana, but also account for about 70% of their contribution to GDP. For us, this statistic is very inspiring, And it gives us hope that when SMEs are supported to grow and expand, they'll create job opportunities and help us really begin to reduce the unemployment numbers in Ghana. Many economies in the world have developed and grown on the back of SMEs when intentional steps are taken by the countries to support them and to grow them to run sustainable businesses. More than ever, the MasterCard Foundation believes that unlocking the country's growth potential post-COVID-19 and creating dignified and fulfilling work for young entrepreneurs, especially women, will require bridging the credit accessibility gap, strengthening SMEs, and boosting productivity via digitization and technology support. But today, we all know, as Abena was alluding to, that SMEs are facing major challenges and shocks on the back of a very volatile economic situation in the country. So supporting them to be able to weather this storm is a key focus for the MasterCard Foundation, and we truly believe that the initiative we are launching today will bring much needed relief. At the foundation, one of our mandates is the fact that we really need to focus on financial inclusion for the relief of poverty. We have our vision of 2030, which is in line with our Young Africa Work strategy, where we seek to enable 3 million young Ghanaian women and men to access dignified and fulfilling work. At the foundation, our Young Africa Work strategy has a goal of unlocking the full potential of the agriculture and agric-adjacent sectors to create additional work opportunities for young Ghanaians and to begin to bolster the economic recovery of the country. So this strategy actually built on our decade-long experience in the country and was developed through a very consultative process with stakeholders, including young Ghanaians, the government, and the private sector. Our vision for 2030 is that the country will be a continental demonstration of young people, especially women, harnessing opportunities to shape the future of work and to create an inclusive economy with enhanced resilience for the most vulnerable. In support of this strategy, the foundation has partnered with several organizations, including financial institutions backed by the Bank of Ghana, to enable access to finance and business development services for SMEs. Through our various programs, we've provided financial and non-financial support, including training and mentorship, to thousands of SMEs across the country. From the perspective of the foundation, the challenge of enabling the growth of SMEs through access to finance and tackling youth unemployment in Ghana cannot be solved by any one organization. It needs a concerted effort of all stakeholders, industry, government, the private sector, to name a few. So in search for viable solutions, we partnered Absa Bank on this journey to support the growth of the SMEs in the country. And we announced the 5-year partnership with Absa to build capacity of 5,000 SMEs. This will ensure the continuity of operations of these SMEs. And through this initiative, we also plan to create 50,000 dignified and sustainable jobs for Ghanaian youth. And this is something Absa is already doing. As Abena mentioned, our focus is on women-led enterprises, fintechs, agribusinesses, and smallholder farmers, with partial or no collateral in line with the existing framework of the bank. We also expect that within the 5-year period, about 20 fintech startups will be supported with a grant of about $250,000 to scale their businesses. As a foundation with a unique interest in Africa, when Absa talks about Africanacity, they believe that we as Africans are remarkable people who always find solutions and a way to get things done. It resonates very well with us. And that's why we're also very excited to be partnering with Absa Bank. We know that a lot more needs to be done. And that's why we're here today, to be part of a game-changing initiative. As Abena said, 10% for a loan pay. It doesn't get better than that. This is a gesture in these economically challenging times that we believe will help resuscitate the SMEs and grow their businesses. 600 million jobs will be needed by 2030, according to the World Bank. And to be able to help us actually find employment for all of these young people who are coming out, a priority for many governments is SME development. As a foundation, this is the work we want to do to ensure that sustainable and scalable solutions unlock finance for SMEs, especially those owned by women and youth. We believe that by working with entities such as Absa Bank, we can create a more inclusive and resilient economy that benefits everyone. This event, it's really just the beginning, and we look forward to collaborating more with all of our key stakeholders to ensure that accessing financing is no longer the barrier it is today for growth and prosperity of the SMEs in Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can do that better. Certainly a collaboration that is changing the face of the economy. Thank you very much. Once again, I would like to acknowledge all our cherished customers who are here. As Abna said, this is about you. We are here because of you. As a bank, we survive because of you, or we thrive because of you. And so we are glad that you are here sharing in this moment with us. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Clinton Clark, who is a non-executive director of Absa Bank. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for coming. So at this point, I would like to invite Dr. Humphrey Ayum-Dake, the president of AGI, to speak to us. Thank you.
Deputy Governor, Madam L.C. Ado-Awaji, the Managing Director of Absa Bank, Abna Osei Opoku, the Head of SME, Dex Audrey, thank you for this opportunity and the creativity. The Country Director of MasterCard, yes, Rosie Finn, one of my new guys I've just met in the course of duty. And this is exciting to be part of today's engagement. My Vice President, Davi, she's in charge of SME and focused on the women business. It tells you how AGI is determined to partner and execute this said course. May I take the opportunity to also recognize Dr. Obin of Guta, and same as the treasurer, the national treasurer of Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the new colleague I seek to meet later, my dear lady in charge of the ladies' hair. I'm doing this deliberately to give you how we are determined to partner ourselves in the private sector and engage collectively to execute this project as the SME private sector space as the third arm of this relationship. I see MasterCard as one arm. I see Absa as a second arm. And collectively, AGI, GUTA, GCCI, and all the SMEs in the private sector stand on one ground to execute this noble, creative, and innovative objective. I am certain everyone here present is passionate about the growth and expansion of the SMEs in Ghana. This passion is regardless of the challenges the business community has been operating in, especially the SMEs, being confounded at every turn with hurdles that are unfamiliar to us in this era. Nevertheless, our spirit of resilience has stood firm to survive the terrain and recover from headwinds, disruptions, and crises that we have been confronted with in this era. Some businesses have given into the pressure and the drain. Some have withstood, and others are recovering. An intervention such as this could not have come at a better time, as we have long desired to recalibrate our businesses and reboot the economy at large. Such direct interventions from partners such as MasterCard Foundation, Absa, and the regulator. Yes, it is a beacon of hope. Yes, it's a new dawn. It is exciting to recognize that this intervention gives a direct focus on women businesses, SMEs, the agriculture value chain, and the fintech space. We pray this creativity and initiative by Absa and the MasterCard Foundation will become a pace setter for pricing of loanable funds and access to funds to the SME community. We are confident that this will rejuvenate our SME sector and make us competitive and export-oriented businesses in these times of our economy. However, our expectation is that these will mostly impact. Granted that the focus is also based on the productive industrial sector and value addition space to bring about the balance of the trade deficit between imports and exports. Colleagues in the business sector, this is a new dawn. Yes, it is a new hope. Let us take advantage of this opportunity of the 10% interest rate, taking cognizance of the fearful fact that the current interest rate ranges between 40 to 50% and more. Once you could reflect that graphically, it tells you how significant this said intervention. And bear in mind, the said intervention is a direct intervention into your businesses once you qualify. Please, colleagues, be diligent and prudent in your operations and fulfill your contractual obligations by being timeous and accurate in your repayment plan. This will encourage Absa, the MasterCard Foundation, and other donor partners to expand and extend such laudable programs. Part of our expectations at the end of the domestic debt exchange program is to see more single-digit, loanable, priceable, competitive interest rates. Madam LC Awaji, that goes to the regulator and all partners in there. As an association, we pledge our support to this timely intervention and assure you that we will live up to our obligation to make this project a resounding success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We can do that better. Give him another round of applause. He managed to send a message to everyone, isn't it? To customers, to Absa, and even to the regulator. That was very bold and daring. But thank you very much. I would like to, at this point, just acknowledge the presence of Mr. Seth Chum Akwabwa, the CEO of the Association of Ghana Industries. Where is he? Oh, okay. Thank you very much for coming. And Mrs. Grace Ameobeng, the Vice President in charge of SMEs with the Association of Ghana Industries. Thank you, Madam, for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, but I need to mention that there's a car outside that needs to move. So if that is your car number, unfortunately, they couldn't give me the make. So if you've forgotten the make of your car, then we are in serious trouble. But it's GE 901114. GE 901114. So if you came this way with a car bearing that number, please do us the honors of stepping outside. Thank you very much. All right. I hope that this morning the information you are getting is really stirring up your appetite for what we are offering you. Anyone here? Are we stirring up your appetite? Okay, thank you very much. All right. So at this time, I want to invite the Executive Director and Managing Principal of Absa Retail and Business Banking, Mr. Koblen Nyalete, to share some remarks with us and introduce the offering we have for today.
Very much, my dear colleague. Good morning, and once again, warm welcome, Deputy Governor, Elsie, my dear partner, our dear partner, Rosie, Dr. Obin, Dr. Humphrey, and all my dear customers and my colleagues, my soldiers on the field. Thank you all for making the time this morning. Mine is to fill some gaps in the remarks from my MD Abinam and my partner Rosie. Rosie did say that SMEs are the core of creating employment, putting the youth, putting us to work. That's no discovery. We've known this for years. The question has been, what have we done? And how to do that in a sustainable way. When I engage Dr. Obin and my businesses, they tell me cost of funds. But we know it takes more than that. Over the past 3 years, we've been working together with our partners to address and get SMEs ready for funding. So we've done tons of work in training and helping them develop markets. But then they tell me we must solve the financing problem. Because the truth of the matter is, in finance, we do what we call risk-adjusted pricing. And my CRO will tell you that there must be an appropriate risk premium to adjust and pay for the risk. But then how do you price SMEs who are the least able to afford? I believe that has always posed to us a very interesting developmental finance problem. Today, we are here to fix that last issue. This therefore tells you, my dear friends, that at Absa today, it is not only about 10% loan. 10% loan, and indeed, I'm sure some of you are wondering, is it dollars or euro? Ladies and gentlemen, 10% in cedi, in Ghana cedi. This now completes Absa's SME offering in totality. So today, if you're an SME, you can start with us, and we will teach you along the way. We will teach you how to keep your books. We will teach you how to be ready for financing. We will teach you how to get access to market. And then finally, we will give you a loan at 10%. We began this journey about 3 years ago with the Mastercard Foundation. And so far, we have lent over 200 million cedis to SMEs. So this is not the start. We've started. We're simply taking it to the next level, the final level. So far, we have, through that lending, created over 10,000 jobs. By completing the puzzle, we will take it above 50,000, Rosie. 50,000 is not the target anymore. We will beat 50,000. Rosie also said we agreed to finance 5,000 individual SMEs. We've so far done over 2,000. We will go above 5,000. In summary, please live here knowing that Absa has a totally complete offering for SMEs. Right from unsecured loans that you can get 500,000 today, and from next hour, 1 million without collateral. First to do this in the market. And as Abina said, if you need more, if you need up to 11 million Ghana cedis, if you are a woman-led business, if you are fintech, if you are in the agri space, if you are youth space, we can give you at 10%. I'm excited. However, I view this as a very serious call. It's a very serious call. So myself, Audrey, Ben, we are leading a charge to help Ghanaian SMEs put the youth of Ghana to work. Please join us. Thank you very much.
48 hours, eh? They were a bit too excited, but you can imagine that we are all excited as well. 10%. Won't pay we are now paying. Absa has everything you need. So SMEs, we are hoping to see your applications coming through. We are hoping to hear you announcing it out there. All right. So at this time, like Kobla said when he was speaking, we started this journey 3 years ago, and we've partnered and worked with various SMEs. And today, we are here to also acknowledge and award some SMEs who have run through our programs. So I'm delighted to invite. But before we do the awards, sorry, let me go back. Before we do the awards, we will take remarks from our guest of honor. So I would like us all to just relax as we invite the second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Adu-Awaji, to give us her remarks. Let's welcome her with a round of applause.
President and executives of AGI, GUTA, and all other trade associations represented here. The reps of banks and other financial institutions, Bank of Ghana staff. Mr. Osejesi, Head of Banking Supervision, is not able to be here this morning, but he sent his team. Invited guests, cherished customers of Absa Bank Ghana, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And I am obviously extremely delighted to be here to witness this great event, the launch of the Absa SME loan at 10% in partnership with MasterCard Foundation. This is an initiative, as we've heard, under which Absa Bank Ghana and its strategic partners will build the capacity of 5,000 Ghanaian SMEs, which is very important. And then also, by that, groom them to become investor ready by the year 2025. In addition to this, these SMEs will be supported over the next 5 years with loans at a fixed interest rate of 10%. And this is sure to help them to maintain their businesses and to grow in these very challenging economic times. So as we all heard, up to 1 million CDs of loans without collateral and at 10%, and up to 11 million with collateral, but still at 10%. So this launch is happening at a time that I believe personally, and I guess we all agree, couldn't have come at a better time, really. First of all, the recent macroeconomic challenges here in Ghana, but also all around the world, really have affected SMEs because they are really the worst affected by these economic crises. First of all, they lack access to finance, they're very vulnerable, they operate in sectors that are hard hit, and they often have no resilience in terms of buffers and capital that they can tap into. And so they have to let their staff go. Sometimes they close their businesses, or their businesses simply stagnate. And so the fact that we're going through a macroeconomic challenge and crisis really means that we don't have to look far to see that SMEs are the most impacted. Secondly, as you heard, and I heard your message, Mr. President of the AGI, we all know that interest rates around the world have been very high recently, again, because inflation trends have been very high. And in our own country, Ghana, our interest rates have been at an all-time high, maybe, if you look at least over the last 20 years. And SMEs do not only find it difficult to access loans at all, because they're seen as high risk, especially in the context of macroeconomic challenges, but also even when they access these loans, the price is too high for them. At the last count, the Ghana reference rate, which is the base rate at which all banks start off pricing their loans, was at 26.45%. This is as of May 2023. And so when someone says, I'm offering SMEs loans at 10%, that's really welcome. And as the president of the AGI said, the actual lending rates of banks for SMEs tend to be maybe the 40%, 50%. But as you heard from the retail director of Absa, that's because they're building on the base rate with a risk premium. There's a basic rule of finance, right? Risk goes with return. And so given that SMEs struggle from time to time, banks will then price in a risk premium. And that's what takes the interest rates to SMEs to those very high levels. But then again, Absa sees differently. Thank God. Absa sees that SMEs are the bedrock of the economy, and it is time to do something about this. But Absa is not doing this alone. No bank can do this alone because the pricing is real. Someone is going to have to pay the tab for this, right? And here comes MasterCard Foundation that says we will partner with Absa and offer Absa what it takes to be able to do this for SMEs. When I saw the invite and I read about the details of this program, I said to Madam MD, I'm not coming to launch anything that I don't understand. Is this real? How are you going to do this? Who's going to pay for this, you know? And I got all my answers, my questions answered. That's why I'm here. So really exciting. Yes. The third reason why this is really timely is also because the program or the initiative focuses on women-led SMEs, youth-led SMEs, agribusiness, fintechs, and even microfinance institutions, and so on and so forth. All of these are really key sectors of our economy. As you all know from the very recent national census, the youthful population is really the majority of us, right? And yet, they're coming out of the universities or the training colleges, and they cannot find jobs, and they don't have the support to launch the very creative ideas that some of them have. We all also know that women are probably about half of the population, also from the national census. And so targeting these key economic actors, in addition to agribusiness, which is also a vast proportion of our GDP, and fintechs that are coming up with innovative solutions for all of our developmental challenges. I think this is really fantastic. This is fantastic because while these businesses are being given a lifeline, a very critical lifeline, it is just not for them. It is not for their shareholders or their founders only. It is because they are able to create the jobs that we all want to see, but also through the diverse products and services that they come up with, that they help with solutions to some of the perennial problems that Ghana has faced. And so really this is good for all of us, and it's good for the economy at large. So this is pure magic, I told Abner this morning. The timing, the substance of the offering, the timing of it, and the sheer impact that this will make. I can only say thank you, Absa, and particularly thank you to your board of directors for allowing you to do this. This is bold, and you couldn't have done this without the support of your board. And so thank you, all of you. Thank you, MasterCard, over and over again. It's not often that the regulator gets so excited about an offering. So, and I have to tell you that we're all excited. You know, Governor Addison and all of us in management at the Bank of Ghana are very excited. So 10% in today's terms is magic, right? Given where interest rates are. But let me encourage you, and I do hope that you're flexible enough so that as the macroeconomy improves, which is happening, is going to happen, and as inflation drops, and as interest rates drop, that who knows, we may be talking about Absa SME loans at 5%. And it's doable. Just a few minutes ago, before I came up here, inflation for April has dropped, right? It's now 41.2%. This is down from 45% in March, down from 52.8 in February, and then 53.6 in January. So consistent downward spiral. So we peaked. We said this at the MPC press conference a couple of months ago that we had peaked. And as you see, inflation is consistently on a downward spiral. And so this is really great. And we hope to see interest rates coming down. We hope to see all banks also then take a cue and drop their lending rates going forward. So this is really exciting, and like I said, Absa and MasterCard, please, let's start working on phase 2, which offers even lower interest rates, okay? We desperately need this. This is good for everyone. This is good for the whole economy. And it's also good, and I do hope that SMEs understand how special this offering is. Sometimes when a deal is too good to be true, people don't even understand how good it is, and well, they don't take good advantage of it. But I do hope that Absa clients know what this is, right? And I do hope that you actually get on board more clients as a result of this. So SMEs have a role to play. This is a good offering, and it's coming particularly, I think it's particularly good, not only because of the rate, which is fantastic, by the way, but also the hand-holding and the training. As we all know, many SMEs will fail in their first few years of business, right? This type of training that Absa is offering you through its partners helps you, hopefully, to avoid some of those pitfalls. So hopefully you're able to survive the first few years of business. If you've been in business for much longer, you're able to learn new ways of doing things, and hopefully you're able to expand and grow also as you get the financial support at low cost. I am particularly also expectant that this would help to catalyze the productive sectors of Ghana and the manufacturing enterprises, really. There are many opportunities, as Dr. Dake mentioned, many opportunities for export-oriented businesses, in particular in the context of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, right? We're not going to be able to take advantage of it if we do not produce more, produce enough for us to consume in Ghana, but also for the export market, for the Africa market, the single Africa market that offers. And thank God now we have a Pan-African payments platform that also facilitates cross-border payments across the region. So an SME can sit in Ghana and produce goods for Zambia, and with financial support, get those goods to Zambia and get paid by the customer in Zambia into your bank account with Absa, hopefully, and you can continue to do good business. So all of a sudden, you're not only dealing with 32 million people, you're dealing with 1 billion and more over the region. So I do hope that this encourages all of you SMEs. Let me also at this juncture speak to banks in general and say that we at the Bank of Ghana, understanding how important the SME sector is to the overall development and sustainability of our economy, really have left the banks in no doubt that we expect them to lend more, one, to the private sector, and in particular to SMEs. It is critical. Our mandate is to promote price stability, ensure price stability, to promote economic growth more broadly, and then also to promote financial stability. And while we expect banks to be safe and sound and to promote stability of the financial system, we also understand that banks are licensed and are in business to intermediate with the deposits they take. So we expect the banks to do more and more lending and to do all of that in a robust risk management framework so that they're able to recover those loans and are able to make more loans to customers that have met the terms and conditions. And this is something we take very seriously. Like I said, particularly at this juncture, when our economy is recovering from a macroeconomic crisis, and all hands must be on deck to get our economy back. And not only that, to also propel this economy towards a more resilient and self-sustaining economy. So I think the clarion call is clear for banks. I hope that banks take a cue from what Absa is doing, this bold and audacious initiative, powered by MasterCard Foundation. And I'm glad to hear from MasterCard that they're working with other banks too. They are beginning, at least, to talk to other banks, and I do hope that that goes a long way. In ending my remarks, let me also say that the banking system is strong, is solvent, is liquid, and we expect, like I said, the banks to do more by way of lending to the private sector, which is what we expect them to do. Before the pandemic, thankfully, we had the banks all recapitalize, and those that couldn't remain viable, we allowed to exit the market in an orderly fashion. That was all a blessing, because when the pandemic set on, banks had sufficient buffers. They had sufficient capital buffers to withstand the storm that the pandemic brought. And banks have been able to also withstand the storm that the recent macroeconomic challenges have brought. Okay, and we hope that over the next few years, working with the banks, they will continue to rebuild the buffers that they've had to use up in the context of the pandemic and the recent macroeconomic challenges. But the banks do have the liquidity and do have what it takes to lend more to the private sector. So we do hope that they take a cue and they do more of that. So in winding up, I'd like to say thank you, congratulations, Absa Ghana. Congratulations, MasterCard. May this union, may this partnership live long. May this initiative live long. I was telling Abna, I'm waiting to come and see how this initiative is growing. So please invite me to a fair. I want to see a fair where the customers that are benefiting from this initiative showcase what they're doing, showcase how they're better off because of this. And let it not be a launch only, let it be real. It will take you, it will take MasterCard, it will take the SMEs themselves stepping up to this and doing what it takes so that together we can see this happened, this succeeded, and there's more room to do more. So Rosie has also promised that they're committed to doing more than 5,000 SMEs. There's a lot of SMEs in Ghana. So 5,000 is only the beginning. But she tells me they're willing to do more. I'm willing to do even lower than 10% interest rate. So all in all, I'm very happy. And on this very happy and positive and excited note, I declare the Absa SME loans are 10% duly launched. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Elsie Adoawaji. And that was the reveal. Are you excited? Is somebody excited? Then you can give a better applause to Absa and the MasterCard Foundation. Like Mrs. Elsie Adoawaji said, this is good for everyone. It's good for businesses, it's good for the banks, it's good for the entire country. So we are excited about the opportunities ahead. And I hear the charge that she's giving to Abna. That's an interesting one. But we are on the journey, and we can get there once the economy aligns, isn't it? Okay. As you can see, we are not joking. How many of us watched the little sketch or the little skits, you know? So they were wondering whether it was a joke or not, but really, we want you to know that we are not joking. Even from the awards we've given and the grants we've given, you can tell that we mean business. So when we talk about getting an SME loan at 10%, it is for real. Tell your neighbor, it is for real. One pay we are now paying. Bibia ayedin. Cash na land, 10% na land. So we want everyone out there to know that Absa is in business for good, for the long haul with SMEs, and we are looking at empowering them to empower the people of this nation. Thank you very much. We are very thankful to all of you for being here, keeping seated in your seats until the very end of this program. And we appreciate you all and are looking forward to partnering with you going forward, especially for all our specially invited guests. Thank you for being here. I'll soon be calling on Mr. Benjamin Asante Asamoah to give us the vote of thanks. But before then, I also want to announce that within this building, we have the project office for the Absa MasterCard Foundation partnership, and it's on the 3rd floor. We will be officially opening up that office today. So there'll be a short ribbon cutting ceremony. And so once the vote of thanks is given, we'll be filing out. And I would like to indicate that, first of all, our guest of honor, Mrs. Elsie Adoawaji, will accompany our MD, Abena, as well as Madam Rosie Finn from MasterCard Foundation, Mr. Kobla Nyalete, Dr. Humphrey Enyimdake, Dr. Joseph Obeng, Mr. Seth Akwabwa, Mr. Clinton Clark, and Reverend Morgan. So they will accompany our MD to the 3rd floor where we will have the sword cutting ceremony. The rest of you, want you to know that we are so excited and glad that you came. There will be refreshments. There'll be time for networking, so please don't run off quickly. I think that all the speakers here today have emphasized the importance of SMEs to the economy and the fact that the step that Absa has taken today is a very bold step. We thank our partners, MasterCard Foundation, for coming on board for us to deliver this exciting opportunity to SMEs in this country, and we are looking forward to collaborating going forward. So thank you. Right now, I'll call on Mr. Benjamin Asante Asamoah to give us the vote of thanks. Thank you for being an amazing audience today.
A warm and graceful morning to our honorable guest, the second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Adoawaji, the Country Director at the MasterCard Foundation, Madam Rosie Finn, and the entire MasterCard Foundation team, Mr. Clinton Clark, the Managing Director, Mrs. Abna Osei Poku, the Managing Principal of Retail and Business Banking, Mr. Kobla Nyalete, and the Country Management Committee members of the best bank in the entire country. Esteemed leaders of the various business communities present, our cherished customers, my dear colleagues, and everyone gathered here. It is indeed an honor to give the vote of thanks for this momentous occasion and to acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard to make this event possible. On behalf of Absa Bank Ghana, I wish to extend our sincere gratitude to the Almighty God for making this event a success. I wish to extend a hearty vote of thanks to Mrs. Elsie Adoawaji, who spared time from her busy schedule to grace this occasion. It was indeed insightful to hear you share your thoughts with us, and I have no doubt that this would even spur us on even more to do greater, to commit to even a greater commitment in solutioning the needs of the SMEs in the country. I also want to say thank you, Madam Rosifin, and by extension, by extension, the entire team at the MasterCard Foundation. You tirelessly supported us over the last couple of months to make this possible. We say thank you. To our ever-supportive Managing Director, Mrs. Abnose Poku, we want to say thank you for leading the way, cheering us on, and creating the atmosphere for innovation to thrive. Mr. Koblanya Lete, our Managing Principal, we say thank you for your leadership and drive in ensuring that we create a market-leading business that addresses the real needs of our customers. To you, our cherished customers, who have graced this occasion, indeed, today is about you. And we are grateful that you have taken time away from your businesses to witness this occasion. We look forward to engaging you immediately after this event and providing you with the most affordable loan in this country. Last but not the least, a big thank you to each and every one of you who have actively participated and made this launch a grand success. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's ceremony. So now, as I mentioned earlier, Abena will lead our invited guests to the third floor where we'll have the sword cutting ceremony. The rest of us can continue to network here. There will be some refreshments served. Thank you all for spending time with us today. God bless you.